arc length. Okay, so question 1, the student is using this formula to find the arc length given a central angle of 35 degrees, radius of 6. Here's what they did, and why is their solution incorrect? They used the angle in degrees and didn't change it to radians. This formula, the angle has to be in radians, and they didn't do that. So what is the correct answer? So arc length equals 35 degrees times pi over 180. That's the conversion. I'm just going to do it all like that, times 6. So I'm typing this all one step into my calculator. Okay, so if I type that all in, I get 3.665 centimeters. Number 2, we have a central angle of an arc length of 5 pi, and we're given the circle has a radius of 9 centimeters. Find the measure of the central angle. So using this formula, I know that the whole arc length is 5 pi. And I want the central angle, and radius is 9. So if I divide by 9, I would get the angle. So this, I'm just going to leave. This is in radians, that angle, but I need it in degrees. So 5 pi over 9. Now I'm going to times it by 180, divide it by pi. This will convert it to degrees. Okay, so once I do that, and you can do that all in your calculator, or you could cancel the pi's, but your answer should be 100 degrees. So we need to get the value for the arc length S. So arc length equals angle radius, and the angle is in degrees, so I need to convert and then times by the radius. So I'm going to type that all in one step into my calculator. Okay, and 3 decimal places, 7.941 centimeters. Determine the arc length subtended by a central angle if the diameter, okay, so I'm trying to trick you there, which means the radius is half of that, so don't be tricked. So 9.5 centimeters is the radius, and the central angle is 1.6 radians, so that's already good to go. It's already in radians. So arc length, we can do 1.6 right in there, and remembering that that's the radius, not the diameter, so that would make 15.2 centimeters. Number 5, so we are going to use this. We need to determine the value of the arc length. So angle is 56 degrees, so we will need to convert to radians, then times the radius. So I'm going to type that all into my calculator, and I get 2.932 meters. So pizza has a diameter of 15 inches, which means the radius would equal 7.5. Okay, and then we want a 36-degree central angle. And we're going to figure out So this is like a piece of pie or piece of pizza. So 36 degree, we want to know the arc length of the crust. So 36 degrees, I'm going to convert to radians. Then I'm going to use the radius instead of the diameter. So I'm going to type all into one step in my calculator, and I get 4.712 inches. The wheel has a diameter of 20 centimeters, so the radius is 10, and it rotates through a central angle of 252 degrees. So how far does it go? So what's the arc? So 252 degrees is going to need to get converted to radians, then timesing by the radius of 10. So all into my calculator here, I'm going to get 43.982, and that's in centimeters. Number 8, determine the radius of a circle. We have an arc length of 5 and a central angle of 3. That's already in radians. So this is 5, that's 3. So I'm going to divide by 3. So 5 divided by 3 is 1.6. Repeating, so if we go to 3 decimal places. Pierre pushes a car into the garage. The radius on the tire is 22, and determine how much you've rotated if you go 1,000 degrees. So 1,000 degrees will need to get converted to radians. Then we have the radius of the tire. So that's all going into my calculator, and to 3 decimal places. 383.972 centimeters. Okay, we have a car wiper. Determine the length of the arc. So what's the arc length? So the angle is in degrees, 132, and I'm going to have to times to convert to radians. And we have a radius of 22. So I'm going to type that all into my calculator, and I get 50.684. That's in inches. Determine the length of the radius. Okay, so we have a arc length of 20. And then my angle is 160 in degrees. So I'm going to have to convert. Okay, so this one would be just more, can you type it into your calculator properly? So I'm going to have to do 20 divided by this in brackets. So this is what my calculator will be doing. So brackets is important. Okay, so on the final answer you should get 7.162 meters. Okay, if you wanted to do this, you could have done this first, and then 20, you could go 20 divided by your answer button, if you had done that first. Okay, number 12. So we are using this formula. We're trying to get the arc length of a circle, central angle 20 degrees, radius 15. So this is their work. What's the error? The mistake is right there. The 20 degrees should be converted to radians in this formula.